Last week we released Office for iPad, and that includes Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. And there are two main things that you can do with these apps. You can either open and read files, or you can actually edit them as well. Editing requires a subscription, but opening and just reading them is free. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So here we go. We've got Excel, PowerPoint, and Word here on the iPad. I'm going to first show you how great the files look in these apps, just opening them and reading them. Okay. So here's a file attachment here for Word. And if you've done this before, you've opened up an attachment, and you've probably done so in the Apple Mail app Quick Look view. It does its best trying to display this content. You've got sort of a jumbled TOC here. We've got some funny wrapping over here. Your table's a little chopped up. It tries to give you a good approximation of the file, but a better way is to open it in Word for iPad. So I'll tap this, tap done. The way you open it in Word for iPad is tap and hold, and then you can open it here in Word. So I'll go ahead and tap it there. I prefer this. This is the application that actually created this file, so I prefer to open it in that application. And you can see it looks a lot better here. You've got the graphics looking correct. You've got all sorts of nice font layout. You don't have any problems with your table of contents. It looks pretty good too. Okay, you can also see your comments, and you can see your revision marks. This is unmistakably Office. You'll see that you have your ribbon at the top here, your tabs, and it'll look pretty familiar to you. So let's show you what your Excel files can look like here. I'll go ahead and tap an attachment here to open it in Excel. I'm here in this Winter Olympics file, and we've got our data looking nice. We've got our conditional formatting. We have the slicers looking good. All sorts of nice things. Again, you have your ribbon tab up here. And then all sorts of nice touches in Excel, particularly this area down here, this sum or this summary. So if you tapped and select some cells, and you'll have a summary there of 22 as your sum, or you can switch to a count or an average, whatever you want. It's like that on the Mac and Windows, and it's here on Office for iPad as well. So let's head on over to PowerPoint. PowerPoint's pretty amazing. Again, you got your ribbon, you've got your slide thumbnails here on the left, and then you've got your notes pane down here in case you have any notes for each slide. The other cool thing is that you can present for free. So go up here to the slideshow tab and click or tap from start, and then you can launch into full screen slideshow mode there. Swipe through to see your animations and transitions. It's all pretty cool stuff. Again, this is all free. I'm just opening files. I'm not doing anything with them, but if I want to edit, I purchase a subscription, and then I can edit. And I'm going to show you some editing basics now so you can get a hang of that. Up here in the upper left is this arrow, and that's for saving, closing, and seeing your other files. So I'm going to tap that arrow. Okay. And here I can open recent files. These could be recent files on other devices, other PCs, or this device. I can create new files here based on a template or even on a blank template. And then I can open files. Now, where can you open files from? You can open them from the cloud. Which cloud? You can open them from OneDrive for Business, or you can open them from OneDrive.com for your personal stuff. And when you log in, either here or when you add a place, your locations will appear up here. Okay, here's your OneDrive for Business right here. Here are those folders in OneDrive for Business, and then here are the files that you can open here. And then here in OneDrive.com, we've got your folders, files, and you just tap them to open them. You can also open from SharePoint. Let me show you a couple tips for working with these apps. And one is, which I think is really cool, is you have OneDrive apps for iOS available in the App Store. And you could open up your files from these apps if you wanted to and edit them. You can also do it from SharePoint. Let's say you have a SharePoint 2013 site like this one, and you wanted to open this file to edit it. And then if you go into the PowerPoint Online, or what was previously known as the PowerPoint Web App, you'll see it in here in the web browser, but you can actually open it for editing in the PowerPoint for iPad app. So I'm going to go to Edit Presentation, and then I'm going to go to Edit in PowerPoint, and that'll open up in PowerPoint, and any changes I make there will get saved up to SharePoint, which is pretty cool. Okay, let's go through some other tips. Let's specifically go to Word. I'm going to use the 4-finger swipe and get into multitask view here, and I'm going to go over to Word, and I'm going to go ahead and save and edit here. I'll do this. I'll put this on my cloud here, make this version 2. All right, so I'll save that up to the cloud for me. And if you want to reply to comments, you can, almost just like on the PC. When you tap in a comment here, go up to the Review tab, and then tap Add Comment right up here. And then that will make a replied comment or an indented comment there. Okay, so you can continue that conversation. The other thing you can do in Word, let's make a new file, show you some typing tips here. We'll make a new blank document here. All right, use this dictation button. It comes with iOS, but it works really great for Word for iPad. So I'll tap this, and I'm going to dictate, but I'm also going to call out a couple commands that'll give you your punctuation and your new lines. So I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Shopping list for today, colon. Okay, so it dictated that text, gave me that punctuation mark. And now I'm going to add a bullet, and I'll just add some list items here, and after each one I'm going to say new line so that it gives me a new bulleted line. Apples, new line. Bananas, new line. Oranges, new line. Grapes, new paragraph. That's it for today, period. And it'll dictate all that text. It'll make those new lines for me when I say new line, and then when I say new paragraph, it'll start a completely new paragraph without a bullet. So call out those little commands, call out those punctuation marks. It'll really work for you and save you a lot of typing. There's a ton of cool stuff in the Word app. This Find and Replace is amazing. Just make sure to click this little gear icon here and go to Find and Replace, and then you can change things if you want to change, for example, bowls to Gala apples. There we go. And replace. Okay, pretty cool stuff. Tap in the document to get out of Find and Replace. A lot of great stuff in here. Triple tap, 1, 2, 3, to select a whole paragraph or line. And then your styles are underneath this paintbrush button here. Select a style and you're good to go. All right, let's go over to Excel. I think Excel is pretty amazing. It's got an amazing data entry keyboard or a special formula keyboard. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this so I can edit it. There we go. Give it a number 2. And now what I'll do is I'll double tap to get the special keyboard up. And the special keyboard isn't up just yet. This is the standard keyboard, okay? I recommend using this special one for Excel right here. Tap this 1, 2, 3 button, and you'll have a special 10 keypad right here and an enter key. So you can just enter data, tap enter, enter data, tap enter. Okay? You also have the AutoSum button in this keyboard, which is really handy. So check out this keyboard. You also have the tab key and your arrow keys to help you out with entering stuff. Excel also has more than, I think, 400 functions, and they're all right up here in the formula toolbar, which is pretty amazing. So everything from VLOOKUP to COUNTIF, average, it's all up here. Check that out when you have a chance. Okay, finally, we'll go over to PowerPoint. PowerPoint looks great, and it's very intuitive to use. The only maybe hidden things that I should tell you about are these slide thumbnails over here. If you need to reorder them, tap, hold, and then drag, and you can move that slide in the order that you want it to be in. You can also just tap and get the special edit menu that'll let you duplicate or hide a slide if you want. And then you get that special hide symbol there, and that thumbnail is then faded out a little bit. I forgot to cover AutoSave. Let me go over that real quick. It's on by default, and what it does is it saves frequently for you so you don't have to worry about it. And it's in all three of these apps. Okay, you know it's on when you see these circular arrows up here on this file icon. And then you can get more information here. If you tap that icon, it says AutoSave. Changes are automatically saved to SharePoint. Okay, what does this mean? It means it saves it regularly for you. Okay, on certain intervals or when you do certain things, it'll save for you. So I recommend keeping it on. Some people like that familiar model of saving where they go to File and they tap Save. You don't have to do that anymore. If you really are insistent that you want that, you can turn it off if you want. So we can go here to the File menu. We can turn AutoSave off. And now you'd have to click this Save button whenever you want to save your changes. If you have AutoSave off and you click this arrow, it'll warn you if you have any unsaved changes, and you can save them. So let's talk about some other things here in PowerPoint. If you need to project your presentation here, you certainly can. We have a couple props here for you. So your conference room might have a VGA cable or an HDMI cable like this. And if you go to Amazon or your favorite Apple store, you can buy an adapter like this. This is a VGA adapter. And you just plug this guy in here and then plug this into your iPad, and then the screen will mirror your image of your iPad. Okay. The other thing you can do is you can, if you have an AirPlay compatible device, you can swipe up from the bottom here and you can choose your AirPlay option, and then you can choose your AirPlay compatible device and then turn on the mirroring option. So I think that does it for our webinar today on Office for iPad. This is just the tip of the iceberg. There's a ton of more material for you out there. We have links to about 17 videos, instructional videos on Office for iPad. We have links to help topics that compare Office for iPad to Office on Mac or PC. So check that out at aka.ms/iPadwebinar. And for more general information, you can head on over to aka.ms/offweb for our full calendar and a downloadable reminder. Thanks to everyone helping out today on the Office for iPad team: Roger, Guy, Marta, Derek, Evelyn, Michael Higashi, and everyone here in the webinar studio for helping out with the cause today. Come back on the 15th because we're going to talk about watermarks, one of the most common requested, frequently asked about features in Office. Watermarks, believe it or not, come back in 2 weeks and we'll explain it all.